Hello, everybody. This is the Cluster API Azure Provider meeting for August 7th. Welcome, everybody. We follow the CNCF Code of Conduct, so please be nice to each other. And let's get started. Share. Can you all see the... Can you all see the meeting?
Looks good.
Okay. So I can see that there's no new people to introduce themselves, so I'm gonna skip that part. Please add your name to the attendees. And then we'll do the PSAs. 047 was cut. Most important things in it are the fix to the unpause thing and then the removal of Azure.json. So I think these are the two biggest things. It was a couple of days ago. So also, if you want to sign up to be a moderator or take note taker, there's a table here. There's nobody signed up for next meeting, which is August 21st. If nobody wants to do it, I can do it. But if somebody else wants to do it, please go ahead and sign up.
I can do it. I'll sign up.
Cool. Okay. Any other PSAs? Does anybody have any PSAs or want to say something about the 047? Okay. So I can't really see if somebody is raising their hand or putting chat. I don't know how to see that when I'm sharing my screen. Oh, okay. Now I know. The next thing, Cecile, before she went on vacation, left us some notes. So the first one is the doodle for the meeting. The most popular time is this time or Thursday. Does anybody have thoughts or comments about that? Do we prefer to keep it on Friday or change it to Thursday? I personally prefer Thursday because Friday, sometimes people are like starting their weekend or whatever and they miss it, but
does the data tell a story? Can you hit a button that just says render?
If you see here,
the democratic result. I see, yeah.
There's like a bunch, like they're equal. Like there's like 2 Fridays that are 9 and 1 Thursday that is 9. But there's also like the yellow one is, I think, if need be, and the green one is good.
So do we want to do a final like exclusive doodle with those 3 choices? You only get to choose one.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Let me throw something out there about Fridays real quick. So right now it's Saturday in New Zealand. So what that means is we're going to exclude some of the folks possibly in some spaces of the world. Likewise, Mondays are not always the greatest, but they're okay for Pacific time, right? Thursdays are totally safe. Like we are going to exclude anyone and anybody can join. I think Fridays are a tough one, but that might be just my perspective.
I remember Carlos said Friday was good for them. Is Thursday good for you, or is that like a no for you?
It's yeah, because it's for me Thursday it's 5 p.m. and I might have meetings, company meetings, but it's okay for me now. I can try to do my best.
Do you all think it makes sense to try Thursday for a little bit, and then if it's a problem, we can always change again? Usually Thursdays, as David said, is more inclusive, I think, to other.
Yeah, and that was part of the motivation, or at least Cecile's motivation, is that it was Saturday, like Jack was saying, Saturday in New Zealand, and And we're not supposed to have any meetings on Friday today at Microsoft, so ideally we could move it.
I agree. Thursday sounds good.
All
Okay,
other
let's
things
try
being
that.
equal. Sorry, Carlos. Hopefully it's not.
No, that's fine for me. I can adjust myself. That's not a problem.
Okay, cool. Uh, the next, so I guess when Cecile is back, we'll figure out what we need to do with that, like changing it or whatever, because I don't know all the details. The next item is 048. So this is the milestone. It's targeted for September 4th. Still a lot of issues open. Cecile's note was saying if we want to add, should we add a few others? But I feel like for September 4th, that's pretty close, and there's a bunch of them there. What do you all think? I mean, they're mostly assigned, but oh, that actually brings up a question. Like this Azure dedicated host is like a new feature, and I know in at least Cappy, they said they don't want to add any like big new features as they're winding down the Alpha 3, and they want to keep big new features to the Alpha 4, which we should start planning for soon. Yesterday, there was the AWS provider meeting to plan for the Alpha 4, for example, and they started figuring out what they want to do there. So does that make sense to like keep that for until we do the Alpha 4, or is that like an important thing that we need to get in quickly? Or
I wonder how big of a feature that really is.
It's not.
I think it ends up just being a different way to host a VM. So it's just it's a slightly different take on VM. Instead of the shared infrastructure, it would just be a dedicated physical host. That might be a big feature. I suspect it'll be smaller than some of the other changes, but I think that what you're leading to is more we need to discuss and kind of like say, hey, how big of an impact is this? Would this really make sense as you're bringing up now?
Yeah.
I would be interested to see when on the pathway we start to talk about like Windows support. And I think that's something that we haven't really talked too much about yet. And we need to talk more about it.
It's somewhere in the next, I guess, future. There's like an issue that doesn't have a milestone because I think people at Microsoft were like working on it, and I don't have any insight into what's going on, but you might be able to find out, I guess.
I think we'll get some more information over the next week or so, maybe next couple of weeks.
So I think it's probably enough work here that we shouldn't add more issues unless we can go look at the issues and see if there's anything that looks really important to add. But other than that, I think we should start scheduling like a planning meeting for the Alpha 4 because we should probably start talking about that. This one probably needs to be like though added to this milestone. Let's go through the issues quickly and see. Remove the registry override. David, do you think this needs to be added to this milestone?
I do. Right now, so what this represents is right now in Prow, there's a label called preset Azure credentials. And if that's set to true, then we get Azure credentials, we get a default registry, which is kprow.azurecr.io, and a handful of other stuff. Now, a lot of folks use Kades Prow to push images, but there isn't anonymous access. So we created a CapZ ACR, and there's a preview feature for anonymous access. So that's there now. But we're actually overriding the Kades Prow container registry and inputting our own in the CI script, which really it should just be a job preset. So we should remove, not necessarily remove the K8s Prow preset from the Azure credentials, because that's like used everywhere. Like cloud provider, CSI, all sorts of stuff uses it. We should probably have a different setting for the stuff that we need anonymous poll to be able to do our tests. So that's what that is. And yes, I do think it should be added in. It's kind of hacky the way it's in there now.
Okay. I think
Anybody
that's
have any
how,
questions?
is that how we add stuff to the milestone?
Yes.
I believe so.
Let's see if I have access to do that. Cool. Okay. I mean, it's not super urgent because there is a workaround right now, but eventually it will be nice to get it.
Can try to
I
take
think
a
this-
look next week. Sorry.
Cool. I think this is probably just like when running a workload with a single control plane node, the load balancer takes 15 minutes to provision. From the discussion, James says that it's like related to an issue in the cloud provider. So it's probably not something we can like fix ourselves. Looks like a dependency. Or I haven't really looked at the details, but I don't know if this is something we can add in the milestone and be able to fix right away.
It looks like Cecile already put it on the milestone a couple days ago.
She did? Oh yeah. She put next and
I think this
I
one
think
is
she moved
pretty
it from
important.
next to
Okay.
the, yeah.
This one's
So
pretty
all
important.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Matt, go for it.
I was just going to say, if you look at the column here, it looks like we've already assigned all these except for the very first one that we already touched.
Okay.
To milestones.
Cool. Okay. So I want to add like an item here to, if anybody has thoughts on like when we should have like a meeting for VAlpha 4, or if we should have a meeting or not, or then we can start planning for it. Maybe we can have like some discussion offline on Slack about when to have it. And is there any other group topics or anything that anybody wants to talk about? I don't think we do the like backlog thing anymore.
I think we're pretty good. We just did it.
Yeah, I mean like the project board thing. That was pretty quick. Any other thoughts or topics or questions? Okay. I guess it'll be a quick meeting today.
Quick Friday.
It's kind of a quiet Friday.
Yeah, see, that's why we need to move the meeting to Thursday.
Wish they're passing out some coffee or something. I don't know. What's going on, everybody? Jack, you're never this quiet. Come on.
Decaf.
I'm on
today.
my second cup. I don't want to jinx it. Quiet's good.
Nothing big is broken. Okay.
All right.
Thanks everybody for attending, and I'll post a recording once I figure out how to do
See you
that.
later.
Okay.
Thanks,
See you.
Ian.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Later.